expect we shall never see anything like it again," Lillian said. The Crystal Palace, prefabricated and set on 16 acres, was a feat of engineering made of iron pillars and glass walls. Lillian thought it was as vast as any cathedral she had ever seen. "Wait until you see it inside," she said. "There are inventions and treasures from around the world, and oh, so many beautiful jewels." "I wish Edmund would push the horses harder," Margaret said. "Patience, little one. We'll be there soon enough." Margaret turned to her, her pretty face flushed with excitement. "From the bottom of my heart, Lily, thank you for bringing me here today." "How could I not take my favorite sister to see such a glorious wonder?" Margaret grinned. "I'm your only sister," she said. "Todd and Riley are going to be so jealous." "They needn't be," Lillian said. "Father plans to bring them on Friday. But today is our day to explore, yes?" "Oh, yes, indeed," Margaret said, her eyes filled with joy as she sat beside her sister on the crowded seat cushion. They rode the rest of the way in silence as Margaret refused to take her eyes off the Crystal Palace. It wasn't until Edmund pulled the horses into the area reserved for private carriages at the south door that she reached over and grabbed the door latch. "No, wait for Edmund," Lillian scolded. "But Lily—" "I won't tell you again." Margaret dropped her hand. She often forgot her manners. Intentionally or not, she was a headstrong girl and a challenge to their mother. Edmund got down from his seat and opened the door. Margaret almost fell as she tripped down the step to the sidewalk, startling Edmund. He glanced at Lillian, who shook her head in exasperation. She knew her mother would expect her to scold her sister for being unladylike and forgetting proper decorum, but in truth she felt a touch of sadness as she looked at Margaret. As daughters of an earl, certain behavior was expected. But I will not spoil her day, Lillian thought. Today, Margaret will have her fun. Lillian accepted Edmund's hand and stepped down from the carriage. She was not unaware of the many eyes turning to catch a glimpse of her. Although she'd only celebrated her 18th birthday 2 months earlier, she was an elegant young woman, tall and slim like her father, polished and refined like her mother. She wore a stylish teal-green day dress with wide sleeves and a bodice embroidered with pink roses. A soft white lace shawl was draped around her shoulders. From her noble stature to her fine clothing, Lady Lillian Gilbert was easily identified as a woman of birth and means. "Edmund, I believe 5 hours will be sufficient time for Margaret to enjoy the exhibit," she said. "Yes, Lady Lillian," he said. "I shall return to fetch you." "Thank you, Edmund." Lillian adjusted her hat and gloves and took hold of her sister's hand. The building rose into the sky above the trees of the park. The flags of the nations fluttered in the warm summer breeze. She was pleased to see the event was so well attended, from school-aged children to rural folk who'd made the journey to London an all-day event. As they got into line for tickets, Margaret said, "The other day, I overheard Mama tell Aunt Martha that Lord Henson has been most attentive to you of late. She said a marriage proposal would surely be forthcoming. Is it true, Lily? Are you really going to marry him?" Lillian's lips trembled as she said, "You mustn't believe everything you hear." "So it's not true?" Lillian didn't reply, and Margaret huffed. "Well, I don't think you should marry him," she said. "You will be unhappy if you do. He's too old and he smells bad." "You mustn't say such things," Lillian said quietly. "At least, not in public." She bought their tickets, and the ticket-takers smiled and welcomed them in, and as soon as they stepped through the giant iron gates into the Crystal Palace, Margaret came to a sudden halt. She tilted her head back, her mouth agape, staring at the glass dome above them, the walls of glass supported by the iron beams. "I've never seen anything so beautiful in my life," she said. "I will never forget this day as long as I live." "Nor will I," Lillian said. "But we must move on." She took hold of her sister's arm and moved her away from the pressing throngs of people.